people, welcome to another wonderful episode of Adulting with Omi. I'm always very happy to sit on this couch and bring you awesome content. Guys, thank you so much for watching the first episode. It has been wonderful. The feedbacks has been beautiful. I get almost 2 or 3 feedbacks every day ever since the release of the first episode. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. I really appreciate. We love you. Thank you so much for being intentional about your adult life. And thank you so much. We are on episode 2, and episode 2 promises to be a wonderful one. And today I'm talking about something really important. And yes, I am not alone on the show. Today I have Ikena on the show. Hi, Ikena.
Hi, Rene.
It's so good to have you on my show. I can't wait. When I started this podcast, I really think Ikena's name that Ikena was come. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate. Thank you for. And then Ikena is a big boy. He's a portfolio manager,
Yeah,
portfolio manager for one of the biggest brands in Lagos. So when you see him, bill him.
Not just Lagos, actually, everywhere. So.
That's so nice. That's so nice. Good to really see your growth. Thank you so much for coming. And today we're talking about imposter syndrome. I know you are a high flyer. You do a lot, and I mean in that space, this kid is quite intelligent. I mean, you get to meet him on the show. And have you ever had situations where you imposter syndrome setting?
Well, yeah, I think at the early stage of my career, um, um, despite the fact that I think I'm confident enough, but there's this thing about interviews that just used to get me off, my.
Nervous.
Yeah.
And you have to think about your life again.
Yeah, just having the fact that people just question you, just to evaluate you, that whole idea, it, I kind of feel, looking back, that it always creeps in. At the early stage of my career, I used to have this kind of situation.
Yeah, I get.
Yeah.
Okay, so while we were, planning for this, I'd made few research. So today we were talking about imposter syndrome, and it can get a little bit clinical. And I want to sound like a psychologist, like I actually read for this. And so I'll be reading a lot of things. I'll be talking on those bullet points. So some of my findings says it's a psychological issue, yeah,
Okay.
and it's paralyzing too. It said this is a silent stalker, and it sneaks into the mind of individuals, especially high achievers. Like I call you an high achiever, and I can be like that too. Like I want to do everything, pam, 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 pam. But then in the end, let me continue, and it makes them question their own competence and worth. That is just imposter syndrome
Exactly.
in few words.
That's right.
And just makes you think, okay, am I okay? And then you've heard it over and over again when people say, wow, you've done wonderfully well,
Exactly.
you're doing good. And
the self-doubt never goes away.
and you okay. So I think that for the longest I used to think something wrong with you, because people will come and say, ah man, you're doing really good. But that thing that you feel like I'm really doing good at, how many times I've beaten myself in the corner.
Exactly.
And I've thought, why are you doing this way?
Exactly.
What is happening with you? What is okay? So I'm still reading. It tells them they don't deserve their accomplishments, and their success is just a lucky facade. Okay, so is there somebody out there that feels this? Because it's as if it's just telling you, just reading out what happens to me. But what exactly is imposter syndrome? So on this episode, we'll delve deep into what imposter syndrome is, how to unmask it, what to do, and just like a clinical. So imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern in which individuals, despite evidence of achievements and abilities, constantly doubt their skills and believe they are unworthy of their success. I personally, I'm a victim. Like I'm not a victim in Jesus' name, but then you understand. I experience these things. These are things that happen to me, and it happens to high flyers, high achieving individuals, people that have done a lot. And you're out there, you're already thinking, okay, so how do we diagnose? Because you're thinking, because there are times that that where you just feel like, could it be imposter syndrome? Would it not be? Is it just me not achieving, or is it me? So one of the things is you're a high achiever.
So I was going to say, so a lot of people know the feeling, but they do not have the name for it, right?
Mm, mm.
So until the point where you told me about um, imposter syndrome. I did not know this is what
It
was the
was
yes,
okay.
yeah. So I'm sure a lot of people feel that way,
Mm.
right? So, um, but I don't think I don't want to feel like it only happens to high flying people. I think it's something that happens to most
Almost
people.
everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
most
know,
people.
it
Yeah,
manifests
yeah,
in
in
different
different ways,
ways and in
exactly.
different dimensions.
Mm-hmm,
So it can, so it maybe something that is really dynamic. It manifests with this person in a
mm-hmm,
unique way, in a different way. But
mm-hmm.
then the overall body of it is that it
Yeah,
happens to high achievers. If you
yeah,
are an high achieving person, somebody that does a lot and results are coming, but then you still constantly feel as if you're not getting it.
yeah. The self doubt still kicks
Yeah, it
in,
still keeps saying almost all the
despite your
time.
successes
Mm-hmm.
over the yeah.
So these are ways to know if you have imposter syndrome. So the first one is perfectionism.
Okay.
And here it says setting unrealistically high standard for yourself and
Mm-hmm.
feeling like a failure if those standards aren't met.
Yes, yes.
In quote, put me in front. Yay.
That's your story.
You get like I'll set standards. Some standards that even me I'll sit down and begin to think that. But
It's
then
really
some I
possible.
actually meet, I'll actually meet them.
Okay.
But then even after meeting them, I still feel like there is more to do. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, I still, there's more to be done. Okay, so other manifestations of imposter syndrome. See, we are like therapists on this episode.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to give you the symptoms. Now we are
Exactly.
diagnosing it. So when you see these symptoms, first we've mentioned perfectionism. Now is overworking.
Mm-hmm.
Here it says constantly pushing oneself to the limit, driven by the fear of being discovered as a fraud. Wow.
Yeah,
You know,
strong word.
I
Very strong word.
mean,
Yes.
but then you know it happens where you get just want to overwork yourself so that people will not see that this person has raised expectations and you can't even meet
Yeah,
those
yeah. Match it.
expectations.
Yeah,
So you just
exactly.
begin to walk around the clock.
Yeah.
So please, are you taking note? Perfectionism, overworking, self-doubt, like we mentioned, and also attributing success to luck. No,
Attributing success
thing
to
is,
luck.
I mean, of all these manifestations, but this particular one doesn't really happen to me. But I'm sure there are people out there that when it happens, just like it happens, it's happenstance.
Yeah,
This thing,
because they feel like they're not worthy
eh.
of that success.
People
So
even
they just
people even have words like the word is fair to me. I mean, something the luck came my way.
okay.
All those kind of phenomenon.
After working so hard to achieve something,
So exactly caveat after working so hard, after putting
so
so
much
much work,
effort. Yeah.
so much effort into it. Then another one is fear of failure. It's a being terrified of failing to the point where it hinders taking on new challenges.
I will mention that everybody has their own reasons
Yeah.
to be afraid of
To
failure.
be yes, but then not that to not make it not to now. I mean, attain other challenges, not make you to because you feel like what if I fail?
Exactly.
What if you know that people that they have that big idea,
Yeah.
but the fear of failure, the fear of when I fail,
It
what
always hinders them from trying to
do you get?
yeah.
People just let me try, let me push hard. Because
Yeah.
what if I fail?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
understand that the situation in the country, or I mean, some other factors might look as because you never can tell. You don't even know.
But it doesn't mean you shouldn't try anyway.
Exactly. But if you find yourself doing these things, so these are the symptoms. You know, as doctors, if I say, oh, let me see. This is symptoms. So first one, perfectionism, overworking yourself,
Okay.
self-doubt, attributing success to luck, and fear of failure. So these are the symptoms. Now we are going to the causes. So therapist.
The most important part of the whole conversation, I think.
Yeah,
Right?
actually, I
Because
mean, one of them because every part is important. You get to know. I mean,
yeah,
see.
yeah, but to treat something, you have to know what is causing it.
Yeah,
Right?
actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so causes of imposter syndrome. So there are several factors that contribute to the development of imposter syndrome. First is upbringing,
Yeah.
and this one is actually very pivotal. Like really,
Yeah, everybody can relate to this aspect.
definitely, because if you sit down and see we are how do I put it now? A result of how we were brought up.
Yeah.
See, when you're cooking food, you add Maggie.
Product of our upbringing.
Do you understand? We're just a product of our own beginning. You add Maggie, add salt, add this, add that. Then we and so some people are trying so much to hide from whatever happened during the childhood. Do you understand? While some don't want whatever happened to them to reoccur,
Exactly.
and we find ourselves overexerting. We do a lot of how do I put it, coping mechanism,
Exactly.
and then we begin to. I mean, these are these insecurities. No, I don't want to. Maybe my father worked.
Overthink certain simple situations that will
just
not
complicate
really.
issues, we
Yes,
complicate
yes,
matter,
yeah.
and there are a lot of. I understand that upbringing can be a lot of. Here it says family dynamics and childhood experiences can
Yeah.
play a significant role in shaping one's self-esteem and self-perception.
Exactly.
See, like somebody was saying when we talked about imposters, they said, well, "Are you saying I have self-esteem issues?"
Oh, somebody was telling you.
But
It's not
then,
similar though. Yeah, I think
yeah,
it's just
I think it's just a thin line
yeah. That's
between
it.
self-esteem issues and because I mean imposter syndrome is basically for high achievers, high
Okay.
flyers,
Yeah.
people that
Like
actually
yeah.
putting in the
The word.
job. So
Yeah.
please don't mix it up.
Yeah.
People that are actually putting in the work, doing so much. I mean,
That getting the result of that effort,
yes,
but
you
feeling
still feel as
inadequate.
if yeah,
Yeah.
still feeling that feeling of inadequacy, feeling of I'm not doing enough. I need to.
Mm-hmm.
I should push more. Or maybe the reason why I'm not doing this is because I've done a lot and it's not. Do you understand?
Yeah, and it didn't work
It
out,
didn't
and
work
stuff like
out
yeah.
and so those are another one is perfectionist expectation, high standards and perfectionist tendencies can set the stage for feeling like an imposter when these standards aren't met.
Yes, exactly.
Emphasis on when the standards are not met because everybody sets standards, everybody
Mm-hmm.
sets expectations, but then when these expectations are not met because
From the other person, you're expecting too much from already.
it's outrageous.
Yeah.
And I mean, what do you think is
So,
a change?
can I ask you, do you think that and for us to want to over expect from people,
Mm.
do you think that that could be like a cause, or that do you think that there's a root cause for that over expectation that you put
So
into
I
your
think for yeah,
relationships and you
I
know?
think if I mean for people that, for example, me, I can be very self-critical.
Okay.
I criticize myself a lot. When I'm in a relationship with anybody, friendship or be it what it is, I put myself so much in the line. I want to do so much, and I
Mm-hmm.
expect. I mean,
Person, yeah,
to reciprocate
reciprocate,
such
yeah, that energy.
gestures towards me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm forgetting that we are two different people, yeah.
Okay.
But then you expect so much from people, expect so much from anything, and when it's not giving what I mean, it's not giving in
Mm-hmm.
where
Yes,
it's not giving what it's supposed to give, and you're like,
become
oh, you feel so
disappointed.
disappointed, and because I'm disappointed in you, I push so much expectation I have for you
Mm-hmm.
on another person. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
And I want that person to give me those of
As
what
much.
exactly from what I want from you, what I
Mm-hmm.
want from you. Then you just keep getting disappointed, and
Yeah.
you keep expecting,
And you keep experiencing the shock of that
Yeah,
disappointment
yeah,
continuously
yeah,
over a
yeah,
long.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So another one is workplace and academic environment. Maybe you find yourself in high fly,
Yeah.
intellectual,
Like an
strong,
abode of high performers.
Baba, and you're just like, why am I here?
Even though you've been a high performer all this
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
right?
But then you just still feel that maybe boya, it's not gelling. Maybe I don't know what I think I know.
That unnecessary feeling of inadequacy will not creep
It will
in.
just start
Yeah.
eating you up, and you find yourself caving in. You find
Mm-hmm.
yourself maybe you find yourself self doubting. You
Doubting.
know, we already
Yeah.
said it. You find
Exactly.
yourself doing all those
Yeah.
manifestations. Find yourself doing them. Maybe boya.
But on a tweet, on the flip side,
Mm.
is there any situation that self doubt can ever help? Is there any positive aspect of self doubt?
Self doubt.
No, there's no. Do you ever think about it? Because people always
Well,
say there's always disadvantage and advantage, and
of
I'm thinking,
something.
yeah, so I'm thinking
I just
self
because
doubt.
now
There's
I'm
really
trying to
nothing.
think that
Is
self
there?
doubt. I'm not sure there should be. In the youth, there shouldn't be.
Yeah,
But
but
then, because I'm not trying, because me, I can be very realistic. I'm trying to think of it in my, because when I doubt myself, I like to prove to myself.
okay.
So I think that's a coping mechanism for me when self doubt creeps in.
Mm-hmm.
I try so much to prove to myself that I can actually do this.
Exactly.
And I think that's over time getting to know that there's something called imposter syndrome, and
Mm-hmm.
this is already keeping, this is eating me up.
Yeah.
So I think I now got to realize that, okay, since I am doubting myself, let me try to push. And there are other times that actually cave in.
Okay.
And this is me being sincere.
Okay.
That person just like, oh, yeah, you don't catch me.
Oh, yeah.
I am not doing it. But there are times that I actually want to then prove to myself.
Yeah,
And this
that
is
you can
still part
actually
of
do it.
imposter syndrome.
But then you said that's a good thing about self
I don't want that's it.
That's
I
a bad
don't think
thing.
why I
Because I was
think we
thinking
said
about it before I asked you. I was just really thinking about it while we're having this
maybe
conversation. I'm like, but But there has to be something good about it.
Like, it has to be given.
Yeah, there has to be something good because it might propel you to do more than you
More.
even expect from
Yeah,
yourself.
yes,
Right?
yes. But then know that because a time will come that can actually sabotage whatever
Yeah,
good you
Yeah,
are doing.
yeah. I think most times it does more harm than good.
Because I've seen scenarios where somebody had put in so much work and is at the point of maybe point of implementation, point of presentation, and this person
manifestation.
caves in and go out there. I mean, it has happened to me. I went on an interview.
Okay.
I had called all my friends that I know in that industry to say, okay, what can I do to make this better? You know, because of so much thinking, overthinking. So what happened was that few hours before the interview, they called me that the interview was scheduled for a particular time that's going to start up earlier than the scheduled time. So I mean, nervousness just crept in, and before I knew it, I started doubting. You know, I carried this self-doubt into that interview, and I flopped totally. Like, I was speaking, I was like, I mean, this is not you.
Exactly.
No, this is not you. But then,
especially when you feel like you have been evaluated on the spot.
On the spot, I was speaking with the CEO. I just found myself calling the CEO's name over and over again, and the whole thing was just like, "Girl, get it together."
Yeah.
And so, self that you have to actually work on it. Get to know. I mean, along the line, you get to know how to overcome imposter syndrome because it can eat deep and it can actually sabotage whatever high fly achievements you have.
Exactly.
So we have to really work on it, and also overcoming imposter syndrome, where we now tie up everything together. You know that because there's a root cause, there's a manifestation, but we can actually I've seen people that overcome imposter syndrome a lot, and we will overcome. I am overcoming it. I am in the work.
As we're having a discussion about it, I think it's the best way to.
I'm structuring it.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm whole. Thank you, Jesus.
Exactly. You might be thinking that they might be perfect people in
Yeah,
themselves.
yeah.
They have their fair share because this whole imposter syndrome thing is human nature. We all experience it on our own different levels.
So does everybody experience it though?
Yeah, I want to think so. Yes, I want to think so. In a certain situation, you can experience it.
Okay.
But the difference might just be that for some people it's more constant.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's not an absolute constant
thing. Okay.
and I can easily understand when I'm going through it. But for some people, it's so natural they don't even understand that that's what they're dealing with. Especially when people that have had that problem because, like you said, family upbringing, maybe their conditioning from a youthful age, to when they become adults, their conditioning might set them up
for
in such a way that they don't even understand that this is really what I'm experiencing. So if that person becomes a CEO, you definitely experience it, but it might not manifest the way that you expect. But yes, on that level, it might be seated among other CEOs
and he's feeling inadequate.
Exactly.
When there is money.
Yes, and you'll be thinking, is it possible for those kind of people to feel that way?
And another cause of imposter syndrome is money. Yeah, you understand?
Yes.
I think money is a part of it.
Yes, so
I think I'm living somebody's life.
I can relate to that.
My real life is a billionaire.
Yes.
So now that the money is not there, it's imposter. I'm living somebody's because my real life, the real me, is rich.
Exactly.
Hallelujah.
When they say they're living fake life.
I live fake life. That's the fake life, I tell you.
Exactly.
So how do you overcome imposter syndrome? I mean, first is to acknowledge it. Get to know. It's a first step in recognizing that you may be experiencing imposter syndrome. Understand that you are not alone. Many successful people feel this way.
Exactly. Like in my own case, I rather see that like a job is detailed enough than for it to be, because I'm a data analyst. I don't need it to be so perfect that everything means everything, but I need it to relay the important information. So the key details should not be missing. So I'm always watching out. So a lot of people are like visual. They like it to be perfect. So that would be like a perfectionist. Want to make sure all the shades are right. But me, I'm
cross the T's and dot the I's.
Exactly. So I don't want to say I'm a perfectionist, but yes, I'm very.
But then I am a perfectionist. How do you overcome it? That's the most important part that we want to talk about today. First is to acknowledge.
And it's there.
Know that
it's there.
You have it. It's something up there. Another one, practical one, is let's keep a success journal.
Okay.
I think I should do more. I mean, when I was going to
like journaling.
I mean, I had done it in the past, but this imposter syndrome thing, no.
Okay.
Feel like what's the cocoa? So I think I'll start again. I think keep success journal, things that you've done right, things
your achievements.
So just look at it like, okay, you dey do well. Give yourself the accolade, give yourself the credit. I'm doing well. I'm doing it beautifully. Like this is what I'm supposed to do. It says, document your achievements, both big and small. So remind yourself of your capabilities. Yes, celebrate small wins.
Exactly.
Yeah, celebrate small wins. Any small win, appreciate yourself and enjoy life.
I'm trying not to magnify your inadequacies while you're celebrating your wins.
Try not to
Yeah, some
magnify.
people they magnify their inadequacies so much that their successes don't matter.
Don't matter to them.
Yeah,
It's that thing that you are inadequate in. That is
That's
where
what they
you
will make. Yeah, exactly.
and you're like,
Yeah,
I'm not getting this here. But then you are getting 1,001 things right.
exactly.
But that 10 things they're not doing right. That's what
That's what you make. Yes.
love yourself. I like this also reframe your thinking.
Okay.
So I think that this should come first.
Okay.
Because if
Yeah,
you have done all these other things
yes,
and your thinking is still the same, you will go back to the same thing.
Exactly.
Because you have to learn and unlearn and relearn, and it says challenge negative self-talk by replacing it with positive affirmations.
Exactly.
Focus on your accomplishments and what you've learned from your experiences.
Exactly.
Because really, our experiences are there to shape us. They are there to teach us something, and they're not there to. Because if you actually learn something from them, they're not there for us to be insecure. They're not there for us to cave in, then to not start feeling negative way about ourselves. So affirmation, talk to yourself. I say, Wumi, yeah. You are doing well.
And love yourself.
Oh God, you are doing well.
So important.
Yeah, and the last one says counseling and therapy. Don't be like Ikena here. Doesn't believe in therapy. Please, if you need to speak to someone, speak to someone. And again, listen to this episode on overcoming imposter syndrome. Please listen. It is so important. It said if imposter syndrome is significantly impacting your life, consider seeking professional help. And you can reach out.
And there's some people that actually significantly impacting their life, in their businesses, in their relationship.
A lot. I'm sure that after listening to this, then you go over it again, then you begin to pick your own.
Yes, exactly.
Some people are not even able to keep constant relationship. They can't even keep friendship because of these things. Our expectation, because you set so much for yourself, you're setting up for the other, and there's a lot that is just going on. Everything is just. Please calm down. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
As much as I don't want to I don't want to make it like a gender thing, but I just feel like it's what I experience a lot, because a lot of people always have too high expectations
of you.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were going somewhere else. Thank God for you. I thought you were going somewhere else.
And I'm always wondering.
Some people come off as people that have strong personalities. Immediately you're coming off as strong. People just begin to set idols for you that this guy will do this guy will do that. Especially maybe in friendship or in relationships. And in the end, you just want to flex and just like this guy is not. I thought this guy was going to So yeah.
You need to talk to your girls.
Yeah, I need to talk to.
I don't know, your girls and girls. Speaking of our female audience, tell them to lower the expectations.
Really? You imposter syndrome. You can't avoid them.
Tell them to lower the expectations. Expecting too much from us, and
Okay, so I think I
really. Bella's come, so they should hold on the reasons.
So imposter syndrome is a formidable foe, but guess what? We are shattering it. Yes. It can be in fact, we have defeated it in Jesus' name, and we are all fine because acknowledging, doing all this that we have talked about will really help you. Remember that success is not a facade, yeah? And you're not an imposter. You are you. Say it yourself. You are you. You're not an imposter.
After putting in all that work,
yeah.
That result is yours.
Yeah.
Please own it and celebrate your successes and all the beautiful things that come with all the effort that you put in. And I can't imagine at the point where you're supposed to be really smiling.
Yeah. You're thinking
it's so bad. This is really bad. Looking at it, exactly.
Maybe I'm not doing too much. See, calm down. I'm talking to myself to calm down.
Right? It affects every single thing. It's so bad.
It's so bad. But I trust God that I trust God that people will come to the realization of this, and also please pray. That's really important. Trust God through all this journey. While you are trying to help yourself, please trust God to help you to find yourself again. And on this note, we are ending this episode, and it's been wonderful having you listen to us again on Adulting with Wumi. And thank you so much, Ikena,
Thank
for
you.
joining.
Thank you,
I hope
man.
that when I call you again,
I'll try.
you don't have a choice.
I will try.
And you don't have a choice.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much,
Thank
Ikena,
you.
for coming, and
Thank
thank you
you.
for giving so much. Thank you for
It's been lovely.
yeah, you've been wonderful. Thank you so much, guys, for listening. Please, another episode is coming on Adulting with Wumi. Bye. Please don't forget to subscribe, love, share, and share with your friends. Especially this episode, it's given.
Really, thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.